Right. Let's just dive straight into this explainer. I was looking through some recent data on hustle culture the other day, and it hit me. So many of us are falling into this massive trap without even noticing it. I mean, if you've been grinding away, trying to build something on the side to secure your financial future, you might actually be trading away something way, way more valuable in the process. So today, we're going to use the data to deconstruct exactly what is happening to your time, your energy, and frankly, your youth.
Okay, I want you to picture this very specific, but honestly, very common scenario. It is 11:30 p.m. on a Friday night. Your laptop is literally burning against your thighs as you sit on the couch, furiously answering emails for a side hustle that, when you really stop and look at the math, is making you a pretty meager payout. We're talking maybe $200 a month for, I don't know, drop shipping custom dog collars. And while everyone else is unwinding or hanging out with loved ones or simply getting some rest, you are completely wired. You're trading the absolute best years of your physical life for this fantasy of an early retirement that, despite all your insane efforts, just keeps moving further and further away. Which brings us to section 1, the late night trap, and the deep systemic burnout that comes with it.
See, you aren't just sleepy here. You are experiencing a deep, down-to-your-bones exhaustion. It's a systemic burnout because your mind and your body are never actually allowed to clock out. And here is exactly how this trap locks you in. You're lying in the dark, you're exhausted, and naturally you start scrolling on your phone. On one side, you see the dream. You see someone your own exact age standing next to something you can't afford, telling you how they finally made it. They're essentially selling you an exit door from the grind. And because you've been standing in the exact same spot for years, doing the slow, grueling version of work, well, something inside you just leans in. You buy their course or their starter kit, desperately hoping for a way out. But the harsh reality is, you aren't buying a shortcut. You're really just buying a feeling. I absolutely love the empathy behind this quote. Just let this sink in for a second. You do not buy into these side hustle dreams because you're foolish. You buy into them because you are fundamentally exhausted. For a little while after you swipe that credit card, you feel this incredible lightness. You get to believe that the daily grind finally has an exit door. But ultimately, you are just purchasing a temporary psychological relief, a feeling that, ironically, keeps you trapped in the exact same cycle of overwork.
All right, let's move to section 2, the actual math of time now versus time later. We really need to break down the actual math of what you're trading here, because this is the ultimate trade-off nobody mentions when they're selling you a side hustle on the internet. At 0 years on this timeline, you are actively sacrificing your physical prime, grinding away on those Friday nights. You are willingly giving up the next decade of being vibrantly alive, your 30s or your 40s, just to buy a decade later, maybe in your 50s or 60s, where you don't have to work. You're trading guaranteed present vitality for a totally unguaranteed future. You convince yourself that staying in, skipping life, and working around the clock will eventually just magically balance out in the end. And that leads us perfectly into section 3, the invisible receipt and how you are tracking your time. So while you're grinding away on your laptop at midnight feeling like you're building wealth, you are actually writing a completely different kind of ledger. You are writing an invisible receipt. And this receipt, it isn't keeping track of your money at all. It is meticulously keeping track of your time. You are basically getting nickeled and dimed out of the life you were supposed to have, signing for every missed milestone line by line. It's the vacation you kept saying you'd take next year. It's that friend's wedding you skipped because, well, the flight was just too expensive. It's the quiet misery of eating lunch at your desk 1,000 times in a row. It is even massive life choices, like putting off having kids because you told yourself the money just wasn't ready yet. And right at the bottom of that invisible receipt, this is what's stamped on it. Paid in full with the version of you that isn't completely exhausted all the time. The true tragedy here is that there's no single villain robbing you of your youth. There's no evil boss, no market crash to blame. You are simply making a series of agonizing micro-sacrifices every single day, genuinely believing it's going to be worth it. But the currency you are paying with is the actual life you were supposed to be living right now. So let's hit section 4, the real checkpoint, and arriving completely burnt out. You keep telling yourself, all these sacrifices will be worth it when I finally cross that finish line and can retire early. But the internet definitely won't tell you this. The finish line you are sprinting toward isn't actually a finish line. It's just a checkpoint. And if you spend 15 years declining everything that makes a Tuesday feel like more than just a Tuesday, you're going to arrive at this funded checkpoint with absolutely zero vitality left. Sure, you might have the bank account you dreamed of, but your capacity for joy, your relationships, and your physical health, they've been entirely depleted along the way. Okay, so how on earth do we escape this? Let's look at section 5, finding the third path, a sustainable middle ground.
We've got to break out of this binary thinking where you either hustle to the absolute point of burnout or you achieve nothing at all. We have to find a sustainable middle ground, a third version of yourself that lives happily and comfortably between saying yes to everything and saying no to everything. You have to actively choose to preserve your present vitality right now by integrating these steps. Step 1, keep the vacations. Actually take the time off. Step 2, keep the dinners with your friends. Don't skip the weddings, don't skip the milestones. And step 3, which is absolutely the most crucial one, keep being a person. You literally cannot sacrifice your entire identity today for a distant, unguaranteed future. You've got to build a life where your time is valued just as highly as your future portfolio.
So I want to leave you with one final, very important thought to ponder. What good is a funded retirement if you arrive completely burnt out? Tonight, I want you to literally close the laptop. Stop sacrificing your physical prime for a hustle that is just stealing your youth. It is time we finally tell the truth about the life you're trading for money. Take your time back, starting right now.